Hi, I'm Nate with Freight 360. This is my video coaching newsletter, and the topic of today's newsletter is, should I get started as a freight broker? All right, should you get started as a freight broker? So I've got a message here from one of our listeners. I'm going to read through what he sent to me, and then we're going to talk through it. So here's what he says. Nate, I decided I'm looking at changing careers into the freight brokering industry. My buddy is a long hauler, and I've been riding with him, getting a feel for the trucking industry, doing my due diligence. I'm going to stop him right there. So first of all, it's awesome. I think it's really cool when people hop in the truck and actually get a feel for what it's like to be driving, whether it's regional or actually across the country. But there's a very, very big difference between driving a truck and being a freight broker. My dad has been a truck driver for 40 years. My background is as an inspired entrepreneur. This is a good thing because being a freight broker is a very entrepreneurial endeavor. I had a computer company for 6 years. I'm looking for a career change to where it will be beneficial and rewarding to my capabilities and drive. I'm going to start taking online brokering courses. Any advice or opportunity you may have would be appreciated. Thank you. All right. It's a good question. People ask this one very often. Ben and I talk about it on the show, how to get started as a freight broker. I think one of the biggest things, and I wrote down some pointers here I'm going to talk through, but the first thing is to do your research. You have to really understand what is this industry, because being a freight broker, it's not being a traffic manager, it's not being a truck driver, it's not being a dispatcher, although that is part of it. It is you're putting out fires, you're scheduling, you have to be very organized. There's also a very big sales aspect to it with building up a book of business and getting customers and then keeping them happy and retained. So do your research. There's so much free content out there. Just do some Googling, watch some YouTube videos, and just figure out what is freight brokering, what is the industry made up of? Does that seem like something that interests you? And if that's the case, then I think you should explore it some more, absolutely. Now, the other two things that I said was to interview some brokers and then even shadow some. So interview, that could be as simple as reach out to somebody on LinkedIn or in a Facebook group or any other social media platform. Maybe you want to pick up the phone and call somebody that you know that's a broker and just ask them, what is the day like? What do you love about your job? What do you not like about your job? Just gather as much information as possible. And the last thing I had was to shadow a broker. So since the pandemic and COVID, a lot of folks are working from home, which makes it even easier to shadow them. Obviously, if it's safe to do so, I'd highly recommend it. You can even do it over Zoom or Skype or various other video conferencing tools, but definitely try to shadow somebody. And if they're an agent, they're probably already working from home. Maybe they have a larger office, small to medium-sized business. Hop in there for the day and just find out what are their sales folks doing, what are their dispatchers doing, what is the accounting team doing, and just get as much exposure as you can to the industry and just before you just dive in and, maybe buy a course or get coached by somebody, take the time to do the free stuff to figure out, is this worth it? It's like folks that go to college and they spend 4 years getting a degree in something that they never even really wanted to do. They just thought, oh, that seems cool. Let me go down that path. And next thing you know, they've got all the student loan debt and they have really no intention to ever use that degree. So those are my recommendations. When you're getting started off as a broker, I always highly recommend don't do it alone. You've got to have somebody in your corner that's supporting you, that's knowledgeable in the industry. That could be a coach, that could be a supervisor that you work for, maybe a colleague that is going to take you under their wing, but don't go at it alone. There's so many hurdles that pop up. You can only learn so much in a course. It's one of those things where it's constantly evolving, constantly changing. You want to keep learning and always have somebody there to have you under their wing to help you along the way. So thanks for the email here. Appreciate it and good luck. We'll see if he gets started or not. See you on the next one.